Hello. I wanted to come to you today and do things a little different. I usually demonstrate how to use brushes when doing a Cheetah hack. Today, I'm going to do the basic Cheetah hack, but I'm going to use our blending sponge. It's our Perfector sponge. This one's already wet. It actually comes in a container this size. So you can see it doesn't really fit into it right now because when you get it damp, it grows. And there's a few reasons why that is good. First of all, it gets softer. Okay, so it's much softer. And also, it's got this great point that you can get into areas with. It also blends easier when it's wet. You might be wondering, can I just use any Perfector sponge that I pick up from any store? And the reason I like ours best is because the pores are very small. So it's not going to soak up a lot of excess makeup, which is good. So you're not going to be putting it on and then immediately rubbing it back off. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Cheetah hack. I'm going to come in with my smudge brush for applying. I need to clean this end a second. And there's a few ways that you can use the smudge brush for this. You can, honestly, it's not going to matter. You can choose whichever end you want. The way I like to do it is I like to use the fuller end, the pointier end, if you will, for my brightening and main highlight. And I like to use the flatter end for my contour, just because you're going to get a little extra space from it. So let's jump in and get started. Going to do my Cheetah hack. So I'm going to come in with a lot of dots. I'm going to start with my brightening highlight. We're going to get the corner of our eyes. It's nice to use a brush sometimes instead of your fingers when applying your makeup. Your fingers are warm and they're going to pick up more makeup than a brush will. And as you've heard me say a lot of times before, with cream makeup, a little bit goes a long way. You don't want to be caking it on or it's going to look caked on. So you want to go light, and then if you need to add more, you always can. All right, we're going to go down the center of our nose here. We want to bring brightness to the center of our face. And we want to bring shadowing around the edges because that is the way our faces are shaped. The curve kind of creates shadowing. Our faces aren't just one-dimensional. I'm going to come into this Cupid's bow and a little bit on our chin. All right, and then next I'm going to flip my brush over and I'm going to go to my contour because it makes my main highlight easier to just fill in the spaces then. So again, I'm going to dot into my contour and I'm going to come in with my dots. You can add more as you need to. You want to use your outer eye here as a good stopping point for your contour on your forehead, as well as, pardon me, on that cheekbone. So here, I'm not going to dot, I'm actually going to spread. But what you want to do is you want to come into this corner of your ear, right where it attaches to your face, if you will, to your head. And that's your starting point for your contour. And you want to cup the bottom of that cheekbone. And you can see I'm going to stop it at that outer edge of my eye. You can come back and add more if you want. You just want to make sure that you're hugging the bottom of that cheekbone. And now I'm going to do the other side. So we've got this spot right here. We're going to start. The brush helps you find that cheekbone and just hug it. And again, we're going to stop at that outer corner of my eye. All right, now we're going to come down the sides of my nose. This is just going to make it look a little bit longer and leaner, but you want to keep it bright in the center. And then if you want, you can also kind of flatten out the tip. And we're going to come in. I've already put my lip conditioner on. So we're just going to line the outer edges of our lips. And now we want to find, you want to start behind your ear again at your jawbone and go down and follow that natural line for your contour. You want to make sure that it's not, basically not showing when you look at it. You want it to be just below where you can see. All right, now the fun part, we can come in with our main highlight and just fill in the areas. This is going to be the color that most naturally matches your skin tone. Get some on my neck. Okay, and now we're going to come in with that damp Perfector sponge. I ran it under water, I squeezed it out good, and then I also like to grab a towel and just give it an extra squeeze. I like to use the tip area for this so I can get into any of those hard to reach places, and also because I'm going to come in with this rounder area later. And you're going to use it just like you would with a brush. So just like with the brush, I like to stamp or stipple the makeup in. We're going to start with our lighter colors at the bottom of our face and work our way up. It's very soft. A nice thing about using a Perfector sponge is so you can get that corner right in there, which is nice. A nice thing about using the Perfector sponge on mature skin is that it is going to conceal those fine lines and texture a little bit better, which is nice, because it pulls off any extra. And you can see some's coming off, but not a lot. It's gonna stay right on your face, which is great. Okay, and now when we do our contour, we're gonna do just like with our brush. We're gonna stamp it in, and then we're going to use a flicking motion. I'm going to go down here, but on cheekbones and up here, you'll flick up. I'm going to go down my neck. Get everything to match. Okay, I'm gonna come along my hairline here, stamp and then flick. Always want to spread up into that hairline so you're not getting that no makeup line. And then here we're gonna stamp and flick just like always. right. Did I do my nose? You can also kind of flick that contour down the edge of your nose. Now, the nice thing is, let's say I want to come in with a little brightener and I want to go under my eyes. You can just tamp this in and add a little more under your eye. And same if I want to go a little brighter down my nose. So you can really use this just like you would your brush. And now I'm going to show you how to use my bronzer and lip and cheek with it. So let's come into our Bella here. I'm going to use this fat end and I'm going to stamp right into it. Now, like I talked about with our fingers being warm and this being cool, it's not going to pull as much. So once you get some on there, then you can just kind of come in with that crescent moon, the C shape around that eye. And get that contour or that bronzer on there. You might want to stick some on the tip of your nose, maybe a little down here. And it's easy to add more as you want. Okay, and now same for your lip and cheek. I'm going to come in with, let's do a little bit of plum. And then I can go back to my, you can put it wherever you want, just like you always do. Then I'm going to come back to my smudge brush and I'm just going to use it for a little bit of that plum on my lips. And then as always, we're going to finish up with that line brush to straighten our brows. And there we have it. Everything done with, well, 2 brushes and our Perfector sponge. And now I'm going to go run this under water, set it out to dry. Once it's dry, it can go back in its case, but you don't want to put it away wet. And we're good to go for the next time we want to use it. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope that was a useful tutorial for you. And as always, I hope that this makeup brings you confidence and beauty and gives you the confidence to feel happy about yourself. Thanks. Bye.